Go.
Hello, and welcome to the first ever episode. What are you doing, Alondra? Turn off the damn. Get on mute. First episode. We're starting appropriately. The first episode of 5 Reasons to Drink. We've got 5 people here. We've got 2 people who crashed the party. We're going to be doing this all the time on the weekends. I'm going with this. Only got a little bit left because someone was here the other day.
Straight from the bottle?
Straight from the bottle. Well, I got Coke here, but I don't know. We'll see if we do it. All right, I'm going to introduce. Well, yeah, that kind. Anyway, I'm going to introduce everybody here. We're going to be trying to do this every Friday or Saturday night, at least during the quarantine, or at least until 5 Reasons Sports shuts down. If you see me raising my hand, that's because I'm seeing all the tweets come in. So I'm going to be trying to answer your tweets here. Vine Hype, thank you for joining us. Where the hell is Lazar going? Cheers to everybody. All right, we're going to be introducing everybody. Lazar's going to need no introduction because he's the only fucking person on earth who uses that particular wardrobe. All right, on my left, I guess, sort of, I guess on the right as you're looking at it, David Friedman set the record today with 1,263 texts on a group text string.
Yes. That's
Woo! Wow.
So, thanks. David, what are you bringing to the party tonight?
I have a Kona Pale Ale, something along those lines. I don't know. Mixing it up.
What is it in? What is it in? Wait. What is that? What is that?
Listen, I went with the heat sweater. I decided to mix it up. You know?
Yeah.
Have a little bit of faith, man. Trust the process.
25 years of irrelevance. All right. On his right or left, taking up a good portion of the screen. I feel like you're closer to the camera than anybody else, Jake. Our resident.
I'm a big guy, Ethan.
All right. Our resident Jet fan. Jake Elman. What are you drinking?
I'm drinking 99 watermelon mixed with blue Gatorade.
What the hell? All right. I thought I was doing chick drinks here.
Basic white boy.
Yeah, basic white boy. All right.
Give the age of us with our drinks.
That's all right. I'll give the age. I'm 31. No, I'm not. I call myself 29 because I wasted 18 years of my life. So there you go. You do the math. Friedman in the middle. How old are you?
35, I think. I don't even know. Something.
Good to know. I'll ask your wife. Jake.
Yeah.
How old are you? 20. Fuck you. Below. I'm not even gonna say it to Kylie. All right, Kylie, our one female here. I think our only female out of 65 people in the network. The only one I could get to stay.
We're working on it. We're going to work on that, right?
We're trying. I don't know. Nobody seems to want to work with me.
I'm going to do some recruiting.
I appreciate that. How old are you, Kyle? Am I supposed to ask you that? I'm not allowed to ask you that.
I'm 21, so this is legal.
We need to see the ID
It
is
was
the problem.
recent.
Yeah, could you show us your ID?
Recent. It was in February.
Could you show us our ID so we can get you stalked?
It's actually in my phone, so it's not going to work.
All right.
But yeah, I am legal. Okay, as of February 22nd. Okay, I'm very excited. I thought my corona was very appropriate.
There you go.
Definitely.
February 22nd, that's my late grandmother's birthday, but she would have been 101, so she was 79 years older than you. Other than that, I don't know. That's it's a fun fact. And then, you went as Lazar Sport? You didn't put your real name?
Yeah, well, Ryan Lasner as Lazar Sport. I got my kombucha here with a little bit of Ketel One and a slice of orange. Refreshing.
Okay. My God. Could you explain?
I mean, it's on brand. Is it not on brand?
It is on brand. Before we get, okay, so this is what I'm drinking. One swig before we start.
Yep.
Okay, let's do it.
Yours.
All right. Lazar, before we go any further here and I introduce our first topic today, could you explain the look to people who don't understand it?
The look, it's casual, it's sporty, it fits my what I want to achieve.
Very interesting.
It shows broad shoulders.
Doesn't it get hot?
It doesn't. I mean, I played sports my whole life, so I kind of I learned how to keep the sweat in and know when to sip when necessary.
So you were playing sports, sipping one of those girly drinks on the side, essentially.
Perhaps.
Okay. That's good.
He's got a good mix of business and party. He's ready to go. I appreciate that.
Lasner, there's no way
Thank you,
he
Miss
sweats,
Kylie.
period.
Nice to meet you, by the way.
I feel like this is Match.com. Okay, let's go on to the first topic here. You ready?
Yep.
Let's do it.
This is my cheesy ass sports topic that Smoot hated. Okay, so we're gonna go to this. I asked people. We're doing 5 reasons to drink. After every round here, we drink.
Oh,
One
hold
of
on,
us
guys.
passes
My
out.
stuff
Okay.
is
Before
coming
or
right now.
after?
This is my cheesy heat topic since I know my audience and I got about 3,000 answers on this. Who is the Heat player all time that caused you to drink the most, that drove you to the most drinking? David.
Antoine Walker, although he had some big moments, man, it was just something about him. The tippy toe, his personality in general. I feel like we always sat there yelling and screaming at Antoine Walker for some reason. Seems like a random one. He was only with them for like a year or two, but something about him.
Some people gave that answer. Are you capable of shimmying? Well, there you go.
I'll drink to that.
I'll
Go
drink
on
to
now.
that. Jake, you're up.
I'm gonna say Mike Miller for positive reasons. Hear me out. Anytime that man drilled a 3, especially in the clutch, it was worth taking a celebratory drink.
With or without a sock or shoe?
All depended on the night, my friend.
All right, we got Mike Miller. We've got Antoine Walker. If you have your own answers, give us. Kylie, who you got?
Okay, this is controversial, but it's going to be LeBron James. And it's only because when he left, I mean, obviously when he left, I was like a teenager, so I couldn't drink. But I was very upset about it. And it was like several days of like mourning. And I feel like if I had been able to drink, if I had just been able to go to my local, definitely would have been picking up some hard liquor there. It was really sad times. Although I do have to say, Whiteside also. Whiteside gives me bad feelings in my stomach sometimes.
Same. Same.
I changed my answer. I want to go with Whiteside.
You can't change your answer, David. You're not even a drink in. Stick with it. Antoine is yours. Ryan, who you got? You like everybody.
It's funny that Kylie said that. I actually picked LeBron and Whiteside, but for the opposite reasons. Watching the games itself, it was more entertaining to have my drink by my side. But when we had LeBron James, I was actively watching like just about every single game. So every game was a party. And then when we had Hassan Whiteside, we weren't that great of a team, but you're always watching for his double-double opportunities. He made the game interesting and almost, in a way, like I was rooting for him. He was one of my favorite players when he was doing well. And then, of course, we know what happened to him towards the end of his tenure.
All right, there's only one right answer, and Mr. Bill and some of the others that put that on here. I know some on Twitter had Jamal Mashburn, they had Eddie Jones.
Rio.
The only answer is Rio. There is no other answer here. These are 4 wrong answers. Okay, it's Rio. Who drove you insane? Who drove them insane? Right, and I love Rio.
It was almost fun to watch, though, to some degree. I mean, he made it more entertaining by giving them someone to yell at. So in a way, it kind of made it more entertaining.
Right, but when I think of Rio, the one photo I think of, and he made me send it to him, okay, is him swigging champagne by himself outside the locker room after the Big Three had left him there after they won their second championship together. That to me symbolizes Rio. He drove me to drink on deadline. He drove everybody else to drink. The answer is Rio. All right, so we're drinking to Rio.
To Rio.
Rio.
Kylie, pick up the drink. There you go.
I'm lagging. I'm doing it.
You're lagging. All right, sorry. You'll catch up. All right, Friedman, you're up.
I mean, we talked about this earlier, just the general idea of, like, what's the craziest experience that you've had drinking-wise at a sporting event. So my answer was a little bit double-sided in terms of it was Super Bowl weekend. I think it was Bears-Colts, if I remember. It was Super Bowl down here. My friend and I, we went down to the ESPN stuff down on South Beach and drinking a lot. I had him actually drive my truck back down to the arena because we had tickets for the Heat Cavs game that night. And he was the one that was sober compared to me, at least. He backed my truck into the fence, and in his defense, he's going to sit here and get mad at me because the guy kept telling him to back up. But, I had him drive my truck on purpose because I could not, and it did not matter. So that was my craziest drinking experience. Yes, I met Steve-O, so that was the part about it. I met
Dude.
Steve-O. He was reffing a celebrity flag football game.
Wait,
That was
wait.
before he got
Alejandro,
sober.
can you put the picture back up. I want to see which one's Frito and which one's Friedman and which one's Steve-O. I can't tell the freaking difference.
We're twins. You can't tell.
You look the same, except one of you's Jewish.
Brother from the same mother.
All right. One of you's Hebrew, the other's Goy. That's the only difference I can tell. All right. Good story. Jake, you're up. Drunkest you've been at a sporting event.
Drunkest I've been at a sporting event?
Well, anything that has to do with alcohol at a sporting event.
I would say the Super Bowl, the Patriots played the Seahawks. We had a drinking game. It was like drink anytime. Al Michaels and Chris Collins were talking about Richard Sherman's off-field stuff. I was knocked out by the middle of the first quarter. Whether it was Madden, whether it was the Crabtree stuff, shot. Like the Lil Jon song.
Kylie,
it's the age thing again, though.
It is. Kylie, I don't even know if you can tell this story, right? Are you going to get in trouble? Retroactively?
Okay, so
it was yesterday.
Okay, so because I was 20, and sports were basically over at that point. So I think I'll just keep quiet on this one.
Lasner, you're up.
It takes me back to the old Marlins ballpark. Joe Robbie Stadium, Pro Player Stadium. Going to Marlins games was empty, so we would be able to basically get our big gulps on the way there and fill them up, and just tailgate as much as possible. And by the time we get into the games, it was empty, so we would move up as close as possible and heckle at the players. I remember one time, we're at a Phillies game, and I have my friend going, what's the P stand for on your hat for, the P word? And then, the usher came by and he's like, there's women and children around. And then, we're just throwing back and forth at the players. Like, Jim Tomei's there making fun of his croaky that he had, which is like the item that attaches to their necklace, but or not necklace, but their glasses. But ultimately, just getting trashed at the games and heckling at the players back in the day. Those are the good times.
All right,
I'm surprised to hear this from Lasner, to be quite honest with you. I can't be the only one here. No way.
She wasn't old enough to say.
It's a good thing, man. It's a good thing.
Well, for people who don't know, Lasner has, like, you have Rio's irrational confidence. Like, you have Dion Waiters. Like, Lasner can get a photo with anybody. I mean, it's unbelievable. I've never seen anything quite like it.
Tell us about this, please. How do you do this?
How does this happen? Like, all of a sudden, you'll be like, oh, yeah, selfie with Obama. Like, how? I don't understand.
It's my goal. I mean, I don't have my credentials all the time, so I have to create my own adventure. And
all the time.
I got to have proof that I was there for the event. So, my goal is to make it look as fun as possible, break rules if I have to, and come back with some gold for you guys.
Kylie's getting another beer, by the way, or she's getting her feed fixed there, so she'll be back in a second. All right, I've got a few drunk at game stories, most of which I was working. The one Mickey used to send shots up to Joe Goodman and I. After we were all kind of pissed off because they moved our seats. We used to sit on, before the Big Three came, they used to put us, all of us, like the core beat guys, all used to sit on the floor, like center court. Well, that shit changed because those tickets started going for $10,000 a night. So they moved us up to 106. And I don't know if it was to, like, sort of apologize because he knew we were whining about it a little bit, back when, we didn't appreciate what we had. And so he would send shots of, he knew we liked Jameson, so he would send shots of Jameson up to press row. I don't think anybody knew what it was that was going up to press row. But the drunkest I've been was probably in New Orleans after a Heat game that myself and I will reveal them, Shane L. Richardson and Joe Goodman and I were out all night.
Of
and
course.
went straight to shoot around. And Spo took one look at us at shoot around and smelled us. And he goes, where the F were you guys? Because
you let go of the rope.
New Orleans got another. And that was about it. And we were all still drunk that night. So that night at the game, I think it was actually the game after the 27-game winning streak had been broken. And then LeBron had this ridiculous game. I don't really recall any of it. So anyway, that's the worst that I was. I work for myself now, and nobody pays me, so I can do this as often as I want. Do we want to wait on Kylie? Let's take a drink. So we wait on Kylie to fix her internet to come back on with us. This feels like a lot of parties I've been to. Are you coming back?
By the way, I can't hear David's
We finally have a
audio
female.
at all. I don't know
That's okay.
why.
He hasn't said anything interesting. Kylie, you're back.
Do I
Hey,
ever?
There you go. Can you see us?
okay, it's mildly better. If I can't hear
Mild-
you, don't be mad.
All right, we just told a bunch of drug stories. Take a drink. And we're back. All right,
You just went.
Jake.
You wanted it to be a shit show, man. I mean, talk about a shit show. We're going for straight.
I want all of us to. We've got 15 minutes left of this. Jake, you're up. What you got?
Giannis.
You know what I keep thinking about? Why
Nice.
are the Dolphins still linked to Justin Herbert? Like, I want to move away from this drunk stuff because this whole Justin Herbert thing, even as a Jets fan, is bothering me.
Okay.
Like, is there anybody of the five of us that doesn't think that this guy's going to be a bust?
I mean, he's Ryan Tannehill, isn't he? Essentially, right? David?
I mean, the whole thing with Herbert.
I've been hating on him for a long time.
Herbert. The whole thing for him with me is like, I just don't like his attitude, and I feel like if the Dolphins draft him, all of this rebuild, all of this, okay, we're finally going to start making the right decisions. Like, it all goes down the drain.
You are the big Tua guy, David, correct?
I've been the Tua or bust guy since day one. Obviously, the injury kind of clouded that a little bit, but I mean, ultimately, you have to put faith that they can make the right decision and go with Drew Brees instead of Dante Culpepper. Herbert is the one guy that I just can't handle. I'm good with, obviously, if they trade up for Burrow, if they go, back with Love, any of those guys. I don't know, Herbert, just something about him. It's not the attitude. It's the Tannehill thing. Like, I think he's Tannehill 2.0, aside from the fact that he played quarterback.
I'm just laughing at Smoot's comment where he said Kylie's on dial-up. Kylie, do you even know what dial-up is?
56K modem.
Jake, do you know what
AOL.
dial-up is? Were you aware
No, she
of
does
that?
not know.
Do I know what dial-up is?
You know what? I'm going to twist this. I don't want to talk about Justin Herbert. I want to talk about things that I will mention here that Jake and Kylie will have no idea what they
We'll
are.
have no idea.
All right, let's do it.
Everything.
All right.
Eckers.
When is the last time either of you used the fax machine? Kylie's frozen, I think, still. I think she's still frozen. I'm going to have to go to Jake.
Unless she's really good at staying.
I think the last time I used the fax machine, this would have been back in high school because I think I had to fax something to FAU when I was waiting to get in. So it might have been like SAT scores or something.
If I put you in front of a fax machine right now, you would know what to do with it?
Probably not.
Kylie, she's still frozen here, so we're going to get back to her.
I have a fax machine in my other room. I
You want to show
bought
it?
an all-in-one printer for work,
You
like
wanna
way
show-
back. But I have a fax machine, so I have.
Jake, have you ever used a rotary phone?
I have not.
Would you like the spinning of the dials and all that stuff?
I've seen rotary phones. I saw my grandparents use it when I was a kid, but I never had to use it.
Okay, David,
Well,
do you have one?
I never had to put the number in. They did it.
Do I have one? Like,
Yes.
currently right now?
Yeah.
No.
Have you ever had?
No,
I'll give you
don't.
this, David, because you're younger than me by 12 years, and you know the great Tommy Tighe actually used to do this in New York. If you wanted the scores when you were growing up in like the late 70s and 80s, you had to call an 800 number. It was an 800 number that was right next to the sex line. So if you accidentally hit the wrong number, not that I ever did that. If you accidentally hit the wrong number,
yeah.
somebody was loving you a long time. But basically, you had to call this number, and you would get the
The
latest.
6 and the 9.
Yeah, right. You had to get You had to get the latest Islander score, right? That's what I needed. I needed the Islander score, and so I would call this number, and Tommy Tighe was the guy on the other end of that line. That's a great trivia. Tommy Tighe is now one of the Heat's radio people. Has been doing this for a long time.
You've now lost the rest.
I've lost the rest of the audience. David, you've never heard of that? Ryan, never heard
No,
of that?
Yeah, of
that
course.
I haven't.
No, I just read
Sports
about that
machine is
couple
like the
months ago.
latest
That was
thing.
what, Sports Phone?
It was Sports Phone. It was 800 like 976. I remember the beginning of it. So that was the. You mentioned Sports Machine. You've seen Sports Machine
Sets
last
you
night?
up.
Not necessarily, but what about when we used to wait for the
Who we
newspaper
talking to, David or
to
me?
check the
Sports
newspaper for the
Machine? No,
stats?
I've
But
never heard of Sports
if the
Machine.
game was too late, like you couldn't find out the stats until like the following day.
Yeah, that's why newspapers are dead, Ryan.
That was the word.
That they died on my watch.
It's like it never happened.
Right, exactly. Kylie, is there anything that old people talk about that in sports that you cannot relate to? I think we still have a Kylie mannequin up.
I think she's just you talked about you jinxed it. It's the 5 reason jinx. You said we had a female finally, and then the 5 reason jinx found itself.
Wait! I see movement. No.
No.
All right. That's it. We're gonna have to break this up a little bit. Oh wait.
Tell us about steak and ale, Ethan.
Steak and ale, Sizzler. Anybody been to Sizzler?
Yes.
Of course, yes.
The salad bar. Ground Round. Is anybody familiar with Ground Round? No? Yes? Trying to think of South Florida sandwiches. Jake, where'd you grow up?
Westchester County, New York, right on the New York-Connecticut border.
Okay. All right. So you should know some of this stuff. I grew up near Jericho Turnpike in Long Island. So some of this stuff should be familiar to you. All right. What's the last time that any of you went to a Chuck E. Cheese without taking a child? David, you're exempt from this because I knew you've probably taken a child.
I went like 10 years ago for
Shouldn't I be exempt from this too? I don't have
sister's
kids.
birthday party.
Yeah, we don't know how many children you have out there, man.
Lift the thing up and put the balls in real close.
Yes,
that's what she said.
David, where are you going there? We already lost the only one we have in the network. Never gonna get another one. All right.
It was never gonna happen anyways.
I know, that's true. Lazar has the next topic, but first drink.
Yeah. All right. You know what originally got us into sports? We had a favorite player growing up, right? It was always like that idol we had. And it was like, wow, I always wanted to be somebody like him, whether it's Derek Jeter, Ken Griffey Jr., Dan Marino for some. Who was your favorite player growing up that it was unrealistic for you to be like that person growing up, but you always thought one day that was your superhero, that you looked up to them, that you could be like them?
Willie Randolph, and I couldn't be him because he was black.
Right.
But other than that,
Yankees.
That made it hard. Yeah, I was a second baseman growing up, so I wanted to be Willie or Wally Backman. Although later in life, I decided Wally Backman wasn't such a good role model.
Wow, I don't know what that is.
But he played for the Mets. He was '86 Mets. He was in the platoon with Tim Tuffle. I grew up
Ray Knight, baby.
Well, I grew up half a Yankee, half a Mets fan because I lived in Long Island, but the Mets weren't really very good during the 70s. They were pretty awful, actually, when I was first growing up. And then in the 80s, they started to get good. So Doc Gooden, Strawberry, the 86 Mets, I cried when I thought they were going to lose. That's probably the most invested I've ever been in a sporting event was the 86 Mets, actually. That was the most interesting team of all time, in my opinion. There's a great book called The Bad Guys Won, which is actually behind me. So that was the thing. But Willie Randolph was like my guy. But yeah, I mean, obviously there was a slight pigmentation problem for me. But but other than that, that's the guy. David, who did you want? You wanted to be Dwayne, right? You named your child after Dwayne.
I wanted to be Dwayne Wade when I was 12 years old, and he didn't yet. No. So I was always a big Jeter fan. That's my guy. Reggie Miller is the random name. I always tell people something about. I mean, he was a Nick killer, first of all, so that didn't hurt things. But Alf.
I'm not going to say hello to Kylie because that's not real. We just put a picture of her up.
No, it's fake. It doesn't exist.
I'm back. Alf's here.
I don't believe
it
that
doesn't
you,
exist.
Kylie. It's not you.
Whoa, the mannequin speaks.
Hey, she's moving, man.
All we needed was Alf.
That's right. Which Alf do we get?
No, but look, it was Reggie Miller for me, but ultimately, going back to what you were saying for a second, it's kind of funny because I remember like when I was young, my dad he was a Mets fan in '86 and all that, so he had on recorded tape. You put it in a VCR. I know the rest of these guys are a little. Anyway, so I would watch the game 6 over and over again. The ball goes through Buckner's legs, and it was something that I remember specifically watching with my dad over and over and over again. So it's funny that you said that. But Reggie Miller is my guy. It's a random.
That's totally right.
Something about him. He was a Nick killer. I guess that helped.
All right, so
I know everyone hates him, and I hate telling people that.
He's annoying as hell. All right, we're reintroducing Kylie. I don't believe she's really here. And in the middle, on the bottom square here in our CNN panel, is we have 100 coronavirus experts on the screen. we have Alphonse Sidney, my co-host, one of my co-hosts on 5 on the Floor, the one who is old enough to drink. We need a little diversity here on the platform. Alf, we've had a couple of times. Thank you. What are you bringing? Are you speaking?
Oh, my bad. I had my mic on mute. I told you I've been drinking all day. So
It's just like an episode of Five.
The video. That's
Just like an episode of Five on the Floor. Right there you go. That's
I've been
great.
preparing for this my whole life, man.
I thought this was perfect for you. We had a couple of topics earlier. You want to get to them real quick? Give us quick answers on this, Al. The Heat player who most drove you to drink?
Hassan Whiteside.
On this. Thank you. Good answer. Rio won. The second was
Danny Granger. Or Danny Granger.
The most drunk you've ever been at a sporting event.
Fight a child at a Dolphins Jets game. You asked the question. I gave you the
I
answer.
want it out.
Could we repeat that, please?
The statute of limitations is up. That was like in the 90s. Yeah. I like screaming in a kid's face. It's really bad. I'm not happy about it.
He was the same age as you.
It's why I don't bring my kids to football games, because there are people like me in the stands. So yeah.
Amen to that.
Or a Giants Panthers game in Carolina. I'm a Giants fan, and I do not remember anything past the first quarter.
Probably good if you had Dave Brown playing quarterback. Who
It was no, they won. It was Kerry Collins, was it?
Okay. Yeah, it's respectable.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, it was
Barber,
bad.
Ron Dane.
Tiki was a running. I don't remember. I know they won. That's all I know.
Kylie, we're gonna let you talk because we don't know when it'll be the next time. Are you? Can you speak, or are you frozen in time?
I'm like here, but you're lagging. Like I'm lagging. So
Yeah.
But I'm here. I'm listening to like at least
Mike,
half the conversation.
Mike.
I know. I need to upgrade this
Kylie's
internet.
talking, but we did not do that on purpose. We're getting a bad reputation here. Kylie, turn on your mic.
Oh, I'm sorry. Next time
Not
I'll
we.
Go to UN and steal their Wi-Fi.
Me. I don't know. I already have one. It's all right. All right.
I hear her just fine.
You hear her? I don't hear her. You hear her?
I'm gonna get one of those Wi-Fi antennas and I'm gonna stick it on my roof, the roof of my apartment complex.
There
Just
you
point
go.
it at
It
UN
looks like a
and
great
steal their
story. I
Wi-Fi.
just can't hear it.
I'm dead serious.
I hear it. Maybe it's because my internet is super slow too. So
I can kind of
We can hear her.
It's in and out.
It's in and out.
Lag on her
It could be. All right. So we'll try to get back to it. Maybe I'll be able to hear it on the replay. Lasner, what was the question? What was this question? Who did you want to be when you grew up?
What athlete?
Yes.
Am I answering it?
who, me?
I'd like you
Who
to.
are we asking? Kylie?
Yes, you.
All right. Yeah. Let's just start with Kylie, and then we'll go back to me.
I don't know if I can hear Kylie.
All right.
Kylie.
Well, I loved Randy Moss through and through.
Yeah,
And
don't ask me too much.
Oh
Randy
wait,
Moss had the
I hear her.
confidence.
Lasner, shut up.
I'm here.
Okay, Kylie, whatever it is, repeat it, because I didn't hear it. We just lost her again.
I can't hear you guys very well.
Okay.
There's visual evidence that we did have a female on this.
And
It's
to that,
documented, and it
and
will
to
be
that-
on YouTube later.
to that
Does this count as like
Plus, I had the
sister
shirt
of a
on.
watch party jinx?
Although this is my daughter made me get this.
This is our watch party version of yes. We're 0-1.
The Dwayne Wade shirt. No.
Well, what?
Kobe.
Lazar, Randy Moss is your guy. I saw you. You took a picture with him, right?
No, I never met Randy Moss, and I wish one day, man.
He lives
But
in
He was in
Boca.
the background on the picture he was pulling
Cal
his pants down.
Ripken Jr.
Doesn't he
Tommy
still live?
Bonilla.
Lazar, doesn't he still live in Boca? He lived in Boca for a long time. He used to fish out the backyard.
Yeah, he's fishing a lot. It looks like he hangs out in West Virginia a lot too. So I don't know.
Yeah. All right. Well, you look like Randy Moss. There's some similarities there. All right, we're going to last call here. Last call. Kylie, if we can hear you, is going to introduce the topic. Can we hear you?
This is how we ended. We're waiting for her to ask the question. How did that get decided? Wait a second.
I want to give her a chance because we haven't been able to hear from her. At least I haven't.
No, we all want her to have a chance.
And let's do a giveaway.
All right, yeah, we always have giveaways. All right, all right, Alf, you got a question for everybody until we can hear her?
Oh, was I supposed
Well,
to bring
I
a
try to
topic? I just thought
Flip some shirts.
I was supposed to bring alcohol.
some shit to the table, bro. Come on, man.
I got the Rudy Gobert autograph.
Oh,
Don't
fucking-
don't
yo,
don't
y'all
touch
got that shit.
don't touch that.
Oh,
Be-
shit.
Be careful. All right, Al.
You saw
got-
he was practicing and shit.
He was what?
All right.
I saw he
When's
was
the last
sparring
time you
someone.
were?
Yeah, I saw that. He's fine now. Apparently, he's healthy. He infected the whole league, but he's okay now. Alf, you got something for us? Something we should drink
When's
to?
the last time you guys wore dress pants since
He doesn't have his mic on either.
the virus?
All right,
You can't hear
we'll
me?
work on that.
He said when was the last time he wore dress pants since the virus hit?
Glazer's wearing them right now.
Can you show us?
Yeah, party on the bottom.
Stand up.
Lasner sleeps in dress pants.
Ryan, let me see the pants.
Stand up.
My current
Stand up.
Yes, stand up.
There we go. All right.
He's not wearing dress
He's
pants.
a regular.
He's not wearing dress pants. Look at that.
Not today.
This is worth
Yo,
this is
we
worth
got
it
you.
just for that. Okay, I'm gonna guess. All right, let's guess what everybody's wearing here. I am guessing Elman's wearing jeans, right? We didn't see anything.
I don't think you want to tell us what
He's not going to show you.
You're not wearing
Yeah.
anything, are you? I mean, you're
Got a
wearing a
thong
sweatshirt
on.
inside. How cold is it in your place right now? David, what are you wearing?
I got some shorts on. I'm like Glasner. I'm
Yeah.
All right, good.
still parked on top too.
Kylie, I'm not going to ask because I'm going to get in trouble for that. I can't hear you. Breaking news: Jake is not wearing anything. Alf, I know what you're wearing. Just fucking show
Jake
us
has
the
a
cargo shorts.
Cargo.
No,
Just show us the cargo shorts.
Cargo shorts require a belt. I've not.
This is
worn
great. Can I
anything
mute
that
him like
requires
this?
a belt.
You next time. Sorry.
We'll figure it out. All right. I can't see Alf.
Wearing pants. They're jeans though.
All right. So anyway, we'll try this again next time. This was a pilot. It'll be better next time. Everybody over here. Let's at least do
I'll
this.
see
Can we
you guys.
do this at least?
Hell yeah.
If you want any of our shirts, they work. 10% off. 505. This is
I
one's
need
not
some of
for
those
me.
tank tops, man.
I know. I got them. I'm giving them to people. We have
Those
models.
Band MVP
We
tank
got
tops look good.
shooters.
Got five finals, 3 trophies, no tanking, 5 on the floor shirt, and what do we got here? Bucket Brothers. Bucket Brothers. All 10% off at 5. Code is 505 at 5reasonsports.com. There you go. Al's got the good one up.
They make
Thanks
good
to
face
David, thanks
masks.
to Jake, thanks to Alf, thanks to Ryan, thanks to Kylie. She was here. We'll do better next week. We probably won't. There you go.
There it
Juice.
is.
That was spiked, by the way,
No way.
with sugar. Actually, it wasn't. They didn't have sugars, 100% fruit juices, so it was supposed to have sugar, so we spiked it.
Are you doing a spot?
Smoot's texting me that went well with an upside down face. Talk to you guys later.
All right. Stay safe, guys.
Better.